Hey, thanks, Death Johnson. Asia Revolution is a spin-off of Valkyria Chronicles? Is it the one that's just like a standard JRPG, but in that universe? Hey, Koopa, what's groovin'? Oh, that's cool, this name. Yeah. I should think about doing that more. Looks like he's here. Hybrid of an action RPG and a strategy RPG. Skating reviews, really? I enjoyed that Perception game, and only after the fact looked up the Metacritic to add it to the games spreadsheet, and it has like a 55 or something on Metacritic. It's pretty bad. Which I can kind of see. I bet that game would have worked better if they didn't try to like put a horror element into it and just made it's creepy because you're blind. But it's interesting how you can still enjoy a game despite it being pretty negatively received overall. Alright, I think we want... What happened? Didn't we have like this crazy gun earlier? Unequip it for me? Maybe it only gave it to me earlier. Thanks, Snake.
You're super awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Thanks, man. I'll get you all hooked up with your new hot shit. Access to the subblock spreadsheet and all that fun stuff after stream tonight. Appreciate it. It's good to have you.
Here they come. Take them out.
That's a lot of news. Tactical espionage action, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess normally you need to have the Cold War camo here to keep them from shooting you. I guess I could turn that on just to make this section easier. Wow, it looks so much cooler with this one equipped. No, we'll keep the sneaking suit on. We're not doing a non-lethal playthrough, which is fine. Should be more dudes showing up soon, right? There we go.
Don't let them get away.
Yes, yes. I need to turn off, I need to put the authored camera back on. This whole section doesn't really work with the new free look camera, I feel like. Yeah, that's better. You're always able to first person view it, but I feel like the authored camera is really cool here. Very cinematic. Hey Kevin, what's groovin'? Impressed that Snake's able to keep his balance standing up in the sidecar on a muddy road while using a gun with significant Does she eventually drive through here even if you don't kill all of them? I know that it stops here regardless. Nice, Kevin. Oh, you're in for a treat. Easily one of the best games I've played in the last 5 years. Still delightful game. I wish I could be you right now, playing it blind. Snake can do anything. Give it a second here. So I think we're Return of the Jedi. Oh, that's awesome, Yukubo. I'm excited to do Master Mode. Did you end up just making a second user? Or did you overwrite your old save? It's definitely not ideal. I like where they're going with that, hey, we don't have different save files, everything's managed with the switch menu, with like what user you're signed in. That works the majority of the time, I feel like. and it's fairly elegant to offload that from individual games to set up, but it'd be nice if you could make like sub-profiles that are still connected to the main one. Oh, Master Mode uses its own zip file. Oh, that's good to know.
Nick, up ahead!
I was concerned about that. Shoot the log. Log shots. Nice. Nice. You guys are a lot harder to shoot. What's at EVO this year, Kevin? Did ARMS make it to EVO? People I know are debating about that. Oh, you had to RPG the log. Yeah, there's another frog back there. So I've probably repeated this sequence more than any other to try to get all the frogs. Pretty well hidden. Did not. Next year in the New Jerusalem. Hey, all this. And tranking these guys, if you were doing a non-lethal playthrough, does kill them, right? So you have to not shoot them, presumably. Oh. I'm surprised they give you a manual save at all. That's kind of nice, though, Yukibo. I guess I never really had a reason to make multiple saves, so I kind of wish they would have taken the step of making it auto-save only. Well, I didn't save scum that frequently. Oh, hello. Blending in too well with their environments. Drinking them, you're still technically a pacifist. Whoa. Okay, that actually cuts the cutscene. I was like, I wonder how bad that looks with the new camera. Not bad. Let's see if I can at least give you your SP multiplier. Out the gate, you're the same. There we go.
Looks like they finally gave up.
Don't start celebrating yet. We're leaking fuel.
Oh, cool, Kevin. Oh, are you going to physically be at EVO?
Tank shot up.
Hey, Six Gun. How you doing? Wiping out on a motorcycle is not fun. Oh. Fantastic! Who's your main, Kevin? I have to know when you're up. That's really cool.
Eva!
Did you go last year, too?
I'm over here.
You mean Ganondorf? Fantastic. Nice. Kill the female lead. Kill the female lead.
How's it look?
Pretty bad.
Not a sensitive bone in your body.
Eva,
I love Naked Snake.
What
He's the
about
best
you,
character.
Snake?
I'm fine.
That's good to hear.
We have to get away from here, Eva. Let's go.
Leave me.
Eva!
The boss is waiting for you. You have to go. Give me a gun.
No, we're getting out of here.
We're still far away from the lake. I'll never make it.
I can't believe this.
Uh-huh.
I never thought I'd see you act this weak.
What do you mean?
Listen to me, Eva. We're doing this together.
No, you...
Eva, I need you.
Nadine?
Say that one more time.
I need you. I can't fly the wig by myself.
I love Snake. He's the best.
All right, then. I guess I'd better help you out.
What percentage of people competing, Kevin, would you say stick to characters that are just in meta? I wonder if you have some advantage there, like... I've seen that before, where someone can tilt because, like, they're not used to fighting off meta.
You're lucky to
They
have
don't.
me.
The same strategies don't work. I said this seems seen as a little out of character for Steak. Like, no, it's not. It's not out of character at all. 60%. Wow, it's pretty high.
Snake, can you hear me?
Paramedic.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God. Eva's been seriously hurt.
So have you.
Luckily, I think her organs are all intact, but
Calm down, Snake.
calm down.
Calm
You'll
down.
both be fine as long as you get the proper emergency treatment. But you're the only one who can do this. Understand? So you've got to calm down.
Right. Okay.
Calming down.
Okay. Now let's open up the survival viewer and treat the injury. Do you have supplies with you?
I'm running kind of short.
Then by switching the survival viewer over
Right,
to
just because
Eva,
he's
you
so
can treat her
slow. He's
wounds
very
too.
stylish when
Now
you
get
win,
to
though,
work.
right?
Oh, and Snake, I'm pretty sure you know this already, but if you don't have enough supplies for the both of you, your wounds come first.
Oh, fantastic.
Do you get my meaning, Snake? You've still got a mission to complete.
Yeah. I know what I have to do.
Snake?
Like this.
What tier is Sonic right now? A tier, I assume? I didn't follow Smash. Like, I stopped playing it on stream right around the last couple balance patches, so... I know that they made, Sorry, I can use my words here. They made, Bayonetta marginally less broken, right? Okay. Cut is Suture Kit, Disinfect, Styptic Bandage, Suture Kit, Disinfect, Styptic, Bandage. Playing this light side, Yukiko. Top 10 character, gotcha.
Can you walk?
Is there a character that's in their own tier right now,
think
like
so.
how Meta Knight was? Or is the S tier a little bit more variety to it? Influence lost with Paravac. Right. Failing the mission, being a bad spy. Somebody else come
Here.
first. They should have killed
It's
Eva
different from
there.
the Mauser. When you're using a two-hand grip, you have to be careful where you put your hands or your fingers will get burned by the exhaust
He's
gas
such a
from the
nerd. I
cylinder
think
cap.
that's why I like Naked Snake. He's just a gun nerd. Matt had me equip it last time. I'll swap it off here in a second. It's one of the face paints you can unlock. It was funny during the earlier scenes. Woodland, cure, snake, cut, suture, disinfect, bandage, splint, bandage. Okay. Easy mode. And then the sneaking suit's actually decent camo? I guess it's not great, is it? Let's do the spirit camo. I like having the quiet footsteps anyway.
Snake, are you all right?
Claude and Bayonetta.
I've been
Interesting.
better.
What about Eva?
I healed her up. She can manage.
Good.
Snake, you'll take the lead and break through the enemy's line of defense. Eva will ordinarily be following behind you. If you lie on your belly, she'll lie down as well. If you slip and fall off a cliff, she'll follow right behind. You can call out to Eva by pressing the action button.
I forgot about this part
Head
of the
to
game.
the lake along with Eva.
This is pretty brutal. I think I used to do this by, like, tranking her, and then in the non-lethal playthrough, to get no alerts. I would, like, trank her, and then I would run through the next section and knock everybody out, and then come back and pick her up after that, but only after that. But I don't remember the level layout here at all, so let's see what happens. My thermal goggles. Really committed to jump off that cliff after you. I need you, Eva. I can't fly the wing by myself. Are you done? Where'd she go? Oh, I guess I'm supposed to command her to come. Okay.
Where'd you go?
Come on. Oh, and she's slow too. Fantastic. I think I have to feed her separately too, right? May as well get started on that. Forgot about them coming from behind you. It's like the only time in the game when you have to worry about that, huh? She is injured. But from like a stealth escort mission, your escort is super slow. It's actually a decent way to up the difficulty. Oh, did I screw up equipping it? Hold on. Book. There we go. Assuming she just ignores them. Here we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used to do this part by knocking out Eva and then dragging her around after I thought I had all the guards taken care of. Music sounds different. What, does she have a base camo index or something? Like if I get her to crawl in grass and stay still, is she less likely to be detected? It's just like there's an instrument missing in that bit of the soundtrack there. That's weird. Shit, who sees me? Oh wow, I'm Miller. Alright, we're in full on... This is no longer a sneaking game. This is now an action game about using judo on people who are hesitant to shoot you. I'm sorry. We'll try to sneak again in Metal Gear Solid 4. Yes, yes. I know you do. They refuse to shoot me because I have the Soviet flag pointed at them. a finite number of guards. But I'm not 100% sure about that. It's been a while since I did this. Wow. Maybe there's not a finite number of guards, actually. It's interesting that, like, if they see the American flag on your back, they'll shoot you. They don't care about the Soviet flag. If only real world with this, I know, right? Much more efficient means of warfare. No, there might be an infinite number of guards. Yeah, I think you're right. Alright. I wonder if they just despawn behind you after some time. That's crazy. Okay. Ointment, bandage, knife, disinfect, styptic, knife, disinfect, styptic. Okay, great. Go wake up Eva and carry her with me here. It might actually be a little bit faster to carry her. I don't remember. Yeah. A real time in history when this was how war was carried out. Makes perfect sense. She might wake up faster when I'm dragging her. I'm not entirely sure. Must be hiding nearby. Yeah, about that. The camo index in the Cold War is awful. That is not at all its purpose, right? What does Eva having low stamina do to her? Does her health eventually begin to drain if she gets too hungry? Is that the main mechanic there? Oh, shit. Let me see if I can evade these guys really quickly since they're just walking in here. Probably not. Nothing to see here. Try to put a book at the exit here, maybe. She just passes out, and you have to carry her places after that. Gotcha. Yeah, she doesn't consume stamina when she's knocked out, which is nice. If she dies, do you get a time paradox, or do you get just a regular game over screen? Everything is in season. There's another frog. To read the description of PS3 trophies is kind of a pain in the ass compared to every other platform with trophies. Like, you gotta wait for it to sync with the server every time, and it takes forever. I'm curious if that's just like I got every kind of fruit in the game. I should call Paramedic and see if she has any ideas about that fruit.
You can treat Eve.
Nope.
Snake.
Yes, yes.
You and Eve.
Okay. Guess the time for learning about rare Russian fruits is over. Okay, so one of the guards saw one of the books back there. That's nice. Yeah, in the Xbox 360, you could just press the guide button when an achievement popped up and read it immediately. PS4 may have gotten better about it, but PS3 was by far the worst. There was another guy in there. Is it just the two? Oh, that's what I thought. Sorry. Put another book behind me just in case. Do they all get stopped by it, I wonder? No, they don't. Shit.
Some somebody there?
Nope. Nothing to see here. Triggers an alert. Goofy. Alright, back to judo mode. Let me give Eva some food really quick here. She can eat the Russian rations.
This tastes like crap.
So she has different tastes for basically everything in the game, right? There's a totally different taste system for her.
Can I have seconds?
She likes the fish, or the snake too.
No good.
No good.
Get out of there.
Revolver shots. Sorry, Eva. I didn't actually mean to do that. Let's go. God, there's more of them. It doesn't end. Does she need to be awake to go over this thing up here? That's probably the way forward, isn't it? Let's see. Check the map here. Yeah, I think I need to wake her back up. Bummer. Try punching her. I don't know if I have an easy way to wake her up in this situation. I might be able to like pick her up and hold her against a tree or something and then punch her. I think also picking her up and dropping her repeatedly helps to de-stun her, but... yeah, that works. Wake up. Come on. Totally a reasonable gameplay experience there. Alright, let's go back to the sneaking suit. And that's fine.
Snake, the lake is just over that cliff. Eva should be able to climb it if you help her. Keep her close to you.
Thanks. Yeah, I see what you mean about this part being really hard for like non-lethal, no detection playthrough. The guards are just infinite. It takes a really long time to get through it. Books are probably your best bet, right? And then just kind of getting Eva to move as fast as possible and sneaking around each of the corners to take out the guards that are ahead of you. We're still not done, that's right. Yeah, enemies close by. Come on, Eva. Assume they spawn behind us here, too. I think you have to worry about leaving muddy footprints in here, too, if I recall correctly. I think there's some traps here. It's too bad that like they give you so much medicine. I'm actually curious if the harder difficulties significantly reduce the amount of cure objects they give you. It feels like it's impossible to run out. It would be fun if you actually had to forage for some and you had to deal with a broken bone for a long time, you know? Hey, Reaper Cheap, what's groovin'? How is your Wednesday treating you? See some guards in here.
The enemy, he's here.
There we go. Get the headshot. Auto knockout. Probably more guards out here, right? It's not that I see immediately. I'm doing really well. I've beaten a lot of games this week. We beat Persona 4. We're gonna start La Mulana. Gonna beat this one and start MGS 4. You didn't see anything? Nothing to see here. Might beat Shenmue 2, but I don't think so. Just barely on disc 3, so it'll probably be another 2 sessions, but I picked up Driver San Francisco just in case. Come on. Yeah. Be blind. Spiky actually helped me out and shared a pretty spoiler-free guide, or it's like a guide where if you're stuck, you can look at it to give you a hint as to what to do, and then it gives you increasingly more hints until it finally tells you what to do instead of just giving it away to begin with. Seems like a really good way to handle it. It definitely seems like a game if you're streaming it, you don't really want to play it completely blind, or you're going to have a miserable time. So I'll probably rely on chat to help with that too. But I'm sure for every obtuse puzzle that we're completely stuck on, the ones that we figure out will feel really satisfying. PS3 this name? Does that matter? I could get it on PC, but I'm trying to get anything on console if I can until I get a second gaming PC separate from my streaming PC. Helps with controlling things that can go wrong. Yeah, PS3. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Serp.
Come on, Snake.
Copy link.
We made it.
We made it.
It's in Discord.
Over there.
We made it.
It's the boss, isn't it? I'll go get the wig ready to take off.
It's his mission.
Right.
I'll leave you two alone. But come back in one piece.
Yeah, we'll set some kind of limit on headless chicken running, though. I don't know if I want to do that for 3 hours.
Promise me.
20 or 30 minutes, though, is fine. I love you just kind of turn and there's all these white flowers.
Life's end. Isn't it beautiful?
Fired another Davy
It's
Crockett.
almost tragic. When life ends, it gives off a final lingering aroma. Light is but a farewell gift from the darkness to those on their way to die. I've been waiting, Snake, for a long time. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today.
Boss. Why are you doing this?
Why? To make the world one again. The world used to be whole. But with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight amongst themselves, and the world was torn apart. The Cobras, my comrades who trained and fought alongside me, were torn apart as well. The foibles of politics and the march of time can turn friends into
Was it
enemies
whole,
just as
though?
easily as the
That's a good
wind
question.
changes.
Guess it didn't have the
Ridiculous,
Cold
isn't it?
War.
Yesterday's ally becomes today's opposition. And this Cold War? Think back. When I was leading the Cobras, America and Russia were fighting together. Now, consider whether America and Russia will still be enemies in the 21st century.
Less
Somehow
prescient.
I doubt it. Enemies change along with the times, the flow of the ages.
Although it was
and
at the
we
time.
soldiers are forced to play along.
Well, gonna have to
I
come up with a
didn't
cool
raise you and
name
shape
for
you into
the
the man you are
information war
today,
that's going
just so
on
we
right
could
now.
face each other in
Very
battle.
different from the Cold War.
A soldier's skills aren't meant to be used to hurt friends.
It's true in 2004-ish.
So then what is an enemy? Is
Medvedev
there
was
such a
Prime
thing as
Minister.
an absolute timeless enemy?
President.
There is no such thing, and never has been. And the reason is that our enemies are human beings like us.
It's a good message, though.
They can only be our enemies in relative terms. The world must be made whole again. The philosophers must be reunited. I will devote my skills to that purpose. And with the Colonel's money, I will achieve that end. Just as I once created the Cobras. They are my family. I may no longer be able to bear children, but I still have a family.
She has one. We learned that with Ocelot.
It was November 1st, 1951.
I feel like this is the one character in the entire
I was
game
in
that
the
Snake
Nevada
has good
desert,
reason to
participating in
allow
atomic
to
testing.
monologue. He doesn't want to fight her.
The name Nevada is derived from Spanish.
So Kojima.
Covered in snow, white as snow.
It's still over the top. It doesn't get a pass for that.
And snow is exactly what I saw in that Nevada desert.
I feel
It
like
froze my
it's probably the
blood
most over the
white.
top monologuing in the history of storytelling. I can't think of anything that competes with
Snake.
Metal Gear.
You were an atomic test subject, weren't you? On Bikini Atoll.
Oh yeah,
That's part of the reason I was
definition
drawn
of
to
snow.
you. You and I
At least he
are
didn't do like the third grade expositive thing of like
We're both slowly.
snow is
being
defined in
eaten away by the
Merriam-Webster's
karma of
dictionary
others.
as
We'll never have
a
the
not long
chance
enough
to die
definition to
peacefully,
increase my
old age.
page and word count.
We have no
The feels.
tomorrow. But we can still have hope for the
Yes.
future.
The Robin Wright boss fight
In
is definitely one of the best
1960,
boss fights in
I saw a
history.
vision
We'll see
of
if I
the
can do it
ideal
right.
future.
I don't have
in
the Mosin
space.
Nagant.
3 years earlier, the Soviet Union had succeeded in launching Sputnik, the first man-made satellite in history, into orbit. This came as a huge shock to the United States. In response,
Yeah,
America
like-
threw everything it had into its own manned spaceflight project, the Mercury program.
Kojima-kun, we asked you to write like 300
Even as
words
the
and you wrote
Soviets seemed poised to
30,000.
send their first man into space, America was still experimenting with chimpanzees and rockets.
What's your favorite color? What is a man?
The government wanted human data. So they secretly decided to send a human being
It's
into
exposition
space.
and monologuing. It's Kojima at its worst.
I was the one they chose. At the time, they didn't have the technology to block out cosmic rays, and whoever they sent up would inevitably be exposed to heavy radiation. That's why they chose me. After all, I'd already been irradiated once. Of course, you won't find any of this in the history books.
Are you serious? There's not someone called the
I
boss
could
in
see
the history
planet
books?
as it appeared from space. That's
4
when it
is
finally hit me.
basically blind
Space
for me.
exploration is nothing but another
We can be
game in the
extra
power
aggressive
struggle
about being
between the
careful
US
talking
and
about
the
stuff that happens in that
USSR.
one, because I really don't remember
Politics,
anything other than
economics,
its long
the
hallway.
arms race, they're all just arenas
Don't
for
remember any of the
meaningless
boss fights. Don't even
competition.
remember what the bosses were named.
I'm sure you can see that. But the Earth itself has no boundaries. No East, no West, no Cold War. And the irony of it is, the United States and the Soviet Union are spending billions on their space programs and the missile race. Only
At some
to
point, there's
arrive
going to be
at
a
the
scene like
same
this,
conclusion.
and like it's just going to be a literal
In
self-insert.
the
Kojima will
21st
just show up
century, Everyone will be
They'll do
able
like a
to
Matrix
see
thing
that
where
we
he
are all
closes
just
turns off the
inhabitants
TV.
of a
He's in
little
this big white
celestial
room.
body called Earth.
Death
A
Stranding.
world without communism or capitalism. That is the world I wanted to see.
Good luck.
But
Socialism?
reality continued to betray me. In 1961, I was sent to Cuba, to Bahia de Cochinos.
Bay Pigs.
It was part of a CIA-sponsored invasion.
Did not go
under
well.
the guise of taking Cuban exiles back to their country.
Bailed out at the last second.
But the US government betrayed them. Our weak-kneed president held back their air support. Defenseless, the exiles were annihilated by the Cuban army. All I could do was watch in silence.
I thought the Earth was flat.
I was set up by the very country I'd sacrificed so much for.
I had a friend on
by the
Facebook
very government I
message
dedicated
me
my life to defending.
asking my thoughts on flat
I
Earth.
was driven from the surface world, and I went underground. Then, 2 years ago,
Yeah, we gotta
I
get the
faced
highest
Ocelot,
academic score
my
for
old
the
comrade
MGS3
in
Endgame
battle.
you could go.
He was my friend.
Could listen to her monologue,
But
we could
one of us
also,
had to die.
study in the library on rainy days.
I was left with no choice.
I guess you can see that corpse.
The sorrow
From
gave
Selena
his life
Yaris.
for me. There is no enmity between us. One must live, and one must die. That was the mission. The ones who gave me that mission were the philosophers.
Working for the philosophers.
Early in the 20th century, the true holders of power in the United States, the Republic of China, and the newly formed Soviet Union gathered together in a secret meeting
Yeah,
that would
right.
later be known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Somebody
The
adds
secret
Persona
pact they
4
formed
onto
there
Subblock
marked the
to
beginning
go
of
beat
the
the
philosophers.
Meat Dimension Challenge.
But the last of the original members died in the 1930s. After that, the organization began to run out of control.
Okay, so
and
they
the
mentioned-
Wise Men's Committee degenerated
That's
into
your
a mere
one
shell
connection
of its
to
former
Metal Gear
self.
Solid 2, right? We all came into
The
Snake Eater
philosophers
thinking
of
this was going to
today
explain
have no
everything
sense
in
of
MGS
good or
2,
evil.
but
Their
saying the
influence
original
extends to
philosophers died
countries
in the
and
30s
organizations involved in every aspect of every war.
is the line
They have
from
become war
post-credits.
itself. That's how they operate.
It's all pop.
The sacrifices of war cause a shift in the times. This shift leads to renewed conflict, and in turn triggers the next war. Like a nuclear chain reaction, each conflict sparks countless others, forming an endless spiral that will continue on for eternity. Do you understand what I'm saying, Snake? By consuming me and you, the philosophers intend to keep that cycle going forever. It was my father who explained all of this to me. He was one of them.
What?
You see, I am the last remaining child of the philosophers. But after he revealed the truth, my father was
The
killed
philosophers
by
just
that
being
same
like a bunch
shapeless,
of rich
formless
elite people
organization.
that have a ton of money pulled together is a much cooler idea than whatever
And my father
they're
isn't
implying
the
the
only
Patriots
thing
are
the
in MGS2.
philosophers have taken from me.
It's more standard fare
In June of
conspiracy fiction, right?
1944, the Cobras and
Instead
I
of
took
whatever
part in a
MGS2
landing
is.
at Normandy. We'd been given a top-secret mission to locate and destroy enemy V-2 rocket installations. I was pregnant at the time. The sorrow was the father. I gave birth on the field of battle. A beautiful baby boy. But my child was snatched away from me by the philosophers.
Well, that's right. That explains why Ocelot's always been a Patriot scumbag. It's like she picked her camo just for this one
Look at
battlefield.
this scar. This is proof that I was once a mother.
It's a really
I
unnecessarily
gave up
huge
my
scar.
body and my child for my country.
Pretty sure when you get a
There is
C-section
nothing
it stops at
left inside me now.
the chest.
Nothing at all. No hatred, not even regret.
Love bloom on the
And yet
battlefield.
sometimes at night, I can still feel the pain creeping up inside me,
It's shaped like a snake.
slithering through my body.
I love this game.
Like a
I love Hideo Kojima. I love the boss in this fight, but that's so on the nose. It's like, oh my god, dude.
I've never talked this.
Have you heard of subtlety?
Thanks.
Now that's a malpractice
Thanks
suit.
for listening to me.
Snake
I feel
suction.
content. Snake,
I thought
commence the operation.
so. There's a little bit more to what's going on with this fight with the
I
boss
raised you.
than she just
I
shared.
loved you. I've given you weapons, taught you techniques.
I feel like the
endowed you
fight
with
works better when
knowledge.
you know that. So we'll
There
talk
is
about it
nothing
after the end
more
of the
for me
game.
to give you. All that's left for you to take is my life, by your own hand.
Hey, Nodovan, what's groovin'?
One must die, and one must live. No victory, no defeat. The survivor will carry on the fight. It is our destiny. The one who survives will inherit the title of boss.
Just in case you weren't
And the one
entirely
who
clear on who
inherits the
Naked
title
Snake
of
was.
boss will face an existence of endless battle. I'll give you 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, Miggs will come and bomb the hell out of this place. If you can beat me in less than 10 minutes, you'll be able to escape in time.
I like
Let's
she's
make
got
this
the
greatest
infinity
10
barrel.
minutes of our lives, Jack.
Infinite bullets.
You're a soldier. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty.
Is there any particular reason you make tri-tip sandwiches on 4th of July? Like, I have zero traditions associated with 4th of July other than I have a day off from school or work. Alright, let's call everybody, just to make it as
Snake,
anticlimactic as
it's
possible.
time to complete your final mission. This is where you fulfill your loyalty to your country, and perhaps to her as well. You must defeat the boss. The firepower of that
Sheesh, Mom.
Patriot pistol the boss is using is beyond compare. In a straight shootout, you'd lose every time. Your first concern should be to hide yourself while using camouflage. Maneuver towards the boss's blind side, wait for an opening, and attack her with a gun or CQC.
I think if you use a gun, she'll, like, the game keeps setting up that she will kick your ass in CQC and she'll take your gun apart. I'm pretty sure she does that. You have to pick it
Snake,
up.
it's all over if you lose sight of the boss. Don't let those falling flower petals confuse you.
That gun the boss is using is a one-of-a-kind sidearm she had made especially for her. They call it the Patriot. Basically, they took the Army's experimental XM16E1, cut the barrel short, and took off the stock. It handles like a handgun, but it's got the stopping power of a rifle. Because the barrel is cut so short, it's got some nasty recoil, though. I can't believe she's using it with one hand. Now I see why she's the leader of the Cobras and a legendary hero. As long as the boss is firing that Patriot at you, frontal attacks are gonna be useless. Get around to her back or side and attack her from there. Move!
Eva doesn't have anything to say.
Snake, you want to save, don't you?
I do. Alright, so I'm going to try to CQC her. I have a feeling that's not going to go well, though. I used to be good at it. I don't even remember what the timing is, so we might get our ass kicked for a few rounds here, just seeing how the fight plays out, and at some point I'll have to give up and do it with a gun.
Come back alive.
One way to beat her non-lethally
Naturally.
is to go hide with camo and shoot her with the Mosin Nagant sniper, but we didn't pick it up. Womp womp.
Hang in there.
Built like a steakhouse, but she handles like a bistro. I love the lack of music in this part of the fight. Ooh, she knifed me. I love that there's this. Is this a special snake in this fight? I think that's what this is.
Brace yourself.
Fuck that one up. Just trying to get the snake. Do I think the fan service here is gratuitous? The fact that her, like, suit remains unzipped, yes. I don't think that she's being sexualized at all, though, because she's, like, a mother character, but they definitely could have gotten the point across by making the snake scar on her stomach, right? And she could have zipped it back up when the battle started. But the fact that she's, like, you know, in her 50s, maybe even early 60s, and we're having this boss fight definitely makes up a lot for it. And the fact that she doesn't give a shit about it, right? It feels less incidental. But yes, it could be better. It's not as bad as, like, you know, the Persona 4 Golden, sorry, I can use my words, bathhouse scene towards the end, but it's still, I'm not pleased with it.
Brace yourself.
Breaking bones every time she does that.
You'd better run.
It's more weird than fan service. I think that's a good way to put it, Yukupo. It's unsettling, which I think it's kind of meant to be in a way. I overused items there, that's okay. Let me look at that snake I picked up. Or I thought I picked it up. Oh, it's live, that's why. Aren't there like a Solidus, and Liquid Snake around this battlefield somewhere? Maybe it's not the one that's in the top there. Oh, you can't use the new camera in this fight. That's cool. Makes sense. They're on the ground somewhere. Okay. Yeah, so you can find these extra snakes. Kind of cool. Some extra little lore.
Here I come.
Okay. I don't think you can actually slam her to the ground. The best you can do is knock her down like that, right? There we go. Ooh, yeah. Timing's very tight. I got lucky on those first two hits. I love the red petals when you take damage. That's cool.
Run quick.
Can do. You can slam her after you counter her. Let's try it. Shit. Do I have any life medicine? Equip some real quick. I think a lot of your typical tricks don't work in this fight either, which is cool.
There you are. There he is.
Ooh, yeah. I think you have to, like, press the...
Nice try.
I think that's what happens if you counter her.
Run quick.
Or if you try to slam her instead of just punch her. Quit knifing me, man. It's super rude.
There you are.
Yeah, I think you have to, like, hold the control stick in a certain direction opposite to where she is. Oh, it's not just the
Heads up,
timing.
Snake.
Helps to get that right, too, though. I'll have to attempt this fight again. I might have to do it a little bit differently. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off the standard way here. And I might actually run out of shit if I keep letting her hit me like this. Yeah, I love there's no on-screen timer, although there is actually a timer we have to deal with here. It's fantastic. Splint. Oops, I misused something. Be more accurate with that next time. She's way faster than you are, too.
There you are.
Nope. Those first two were complete flukes.
Move or you're dead.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sneak. Okay, there we go. The fact that she falls straight down like that makes it hard to shoot her conventionally.
You've gotten stronger.
Thanks. Nope. Oh, we're gonna be super dead soon.
Move or you're dead. Brace yourself.
Nope. Hey, I broke it. Yeah, you don't want to initiate CQC or you're
Run.
hosed. Knifing me. It might be after that first knockout that you are able to slam her, but I don't want to risk it. She's behind this thing. Oh shit, I'm out of ammo! Oh no! That was my only way to finish her off. Oh, I didn't even realize I was close. I don't even know if ammo spawns here. I guess I can use the cigarette spray. Hold on. You can't slam her from the front. Oh, we're so fucked right now. Roll over her. Okay, hold on. Let me at least get the cigarette spray. I can find it. Ouch. Yeah, we're gonna be dead even though we're super close. Because I missed some shots earlier.
Let's see what you're made of.
Nope, we're dead. Alright, let's try that again.
Let's see what you're made of.
How much ammo do I have on this thing? 21 shots. It should be enough if I don't ever miss. Nope. Not a good start. Oh, she broke my gun, I think, didn't she? Yeah. Don't have the gun equipped when she comes at you is the other one. You have to manually re-equip it. Oh, she just broke all my weapons, didn't she? That's awesome. What a soldier. Nope.
Heads up, Snake.
I wonder if the SIG spray actually works. Oh, I lucked out by equipping the Scorpion by mistake. Nice. I thought I had the Mark II on. Ow.
Found you.
Oh, she just auto counters when you try to use the SIG spray. Yeah, right. I shoot too frequently, which loses a bunch of damage. Okay. Better start. Perfect. Heal. I still think we would have lost last time if I hadn't run out of ammo, but Broken Bone is Splint Bandage. Gunshot Wound is Styptic Disinfect? Oh no, I guess there's no Styptic. And we gotta re-equip the thingamajig. Life Medicine, get 3 of those. I think if you camp too close to her when she stands up, she knifes you like that. Yeah, I really dig that they found a way to let her take your gun apart in battle. This just drops your gun and all your ammo, you don't know which one's which. It's a pretty cool use of
Try dashing
Mechanics.
That's amazing.
Raw, that's
Try
what raised the sun.
Try tongue. What horse?
Here I come.
Right, that holy shit, what the fuck is that?
Nope. Auto punish for punching her from the front. Right there is what that was. Dashing seems like the worst possible strategy in this fight. Okay. Waited longer, that works better. Let me fix the cut here. Suture, disinfect, bandage. Now stick it. Shit. Got her. Oh shit, it works. Alright.
Excellent, Jack.
Oh shit. Can't afford to miss. Okay, it's still only 2. I wanted to see if when you slammed her, if you got more, maybe.
You're better than I remember.
Better than I remember. I think you have to rely on the sound effect rather than the exclamation point. I did better that time by waiting for the sound effect instead. Shit. Heal. Gunshot wound is knife. Disinfect. Shit. Schnatz did it.
Let's see what you're made of.
Yeah, it's all sound effect. Shit. That's not good.
Brace yourself.
Yeah, if you just melee near her, like I wasn't anywhere near to punching her. She kind of just automatically CQCs you. It's great. Tree collision.
Brace yourself.
Nope. Oh, there we go. Consider not missing point blank shots. She just auto deflects your weapons there. I'm being greedy here. I kind of want to hear the song, so I'm gonna go look for the snakes to get the song to play, and then I'm gonna lose, right? I won't be able to repeat it. Let's see. Disinfect, bandage. Oh, I guess we need all of them, don't we? Okay. That one's split bandage. Sig sprayer while she's down. I don't know if I can even see it with the thermal goggles. Oh, there's one. Because you can try to keep them alive, right? Snake eye. Food. Yeah, snake liquid.
I want some more.
Like, did they cut the I want some more dialogue because this fight's too intense? Like, nope, it's still in there.
Brace yourself.
Oh, I'm braced. Oh shit.
5 more minutes.
Come on, boss, I'm trying to find food. Be patient. If you do that fight where you're like trying to use camo and hide from her, it's super scary because when she runs, it makes those petals fall.
What an easy win!
But they're always falling everywhere anyway. So you're trying to hide, and she'll just sneak up behind you and shoot the shit out of you when you're crawling on the ground.
Take this. Keep it safe.
I forget he gets that. That makes sense.
It's our only...
Oh, did I have an opportunity to pick up camo that she dropped? Bummer. Oh well. I won't be carrying on this save, so it's not a big deal.
Patriot. Why are you
Jack. Or should I say, Snake. You're a wonderful man. Kill me. Kill me now.
That's fine.
Do it.
I could always load the pre-clear save and fight her again if I wanted to.
There's only room for one boss and one snake.
Patriot. Oh. This scene requires that you press the button, doesn't it? See how long I can hold out before I press it. That's a cool way to do that. Wait out the last 4 minutes. That doesn't make any sense, but it looks cool, so... Does he eventually just shoot if you wait long enough? It's her horse. Yeah, right. See, it's like, it's unsettling and weird. I don't think you're supposed to be seeing that and thinking that Kojima is saying that, you know, the boss is a sexual object that he's exploiting. Like in, you know, the beach sequence in Valkyria Chronicles. There's not so much a wink and a nudge, but still, it didn't need to go up to her chest. It could have just been on her stomach. No, I said I dislike it, but I think it's less severe. There's a difference between, like, preteen girls, you know, and that. Yeah, the Scar to Snake transition is pretty cool, Donovan. It's very silly. It's fundamentally extremely silly.
Ready to go, Snake? Are you okay?
Yeah, Eva, to me, since she is like a femme fatale character, it makes more sense. It's still goofy, but... I think I actually mentioned Eva specifically in the, in that commentary video. And I would definitely prefer that boss fight scene if it was just her stomach and not all the way up to her chest. For sure. 100% agree. But it's like a, you know, 5 on the eye roll monitor compared to a 99 on the eye roll monitor. Yeah, I agree, Kupo. I feel like it's better as of this game. Like, Meryl in Metal Gear Solid 1 definitely was very full-on damsel in distress for quite a huge chunk of that game. And that was much more frustrating to me, you know, than the treatment of the boss in this game in general, and even in this game in general.
Ocelot. We're not done yet.
Rose was just annoying and unhelpful. But like the boss could have just as easily been a male character. It was kind of like a coin flip. I kind of like that about the boss. Same with Fortune. Could have easily been a coin flip. What about all the Raiden fan service? That's true. MGS2 gets points for being
Too heavy.
equal opportunity. I actually don't think there's any fan service in Metal Gear Solid 2, is there? It's all Raiden and the nude. Right. This 2 has the posters everywhere. Those are pretty dumb. They're unnecessary. They're even in this game and they're unnecessary. Yeah, I think that's fair, Yukiko.
Not good.
Good thing the lake's like 2 miles long. I think if I were to say what's the worst thing about the Metal Gear series in terms of like unnecessary gratuitous fan service, it wouldn't be Eva or the butt shots with Meryl or the boss. It would be the Japanese model posters that are everywhere. It really pulls you out of the game, especially like when you're in Soviet Russia and there's these pictures of modern Japanese models, right? Most of them are Easter eggs, at least, but still, so is the stupid beach mission.
I picked up a few new moves.
Valkyria Chronicles. Yeah, I made that video to try to clarify
right
my
to
stance
shoot an
on what
unarmed
bothers
man.
me. So, if it serves the story, it doesn't bother me. Right? Like I said, Eva's a femme fatale, so it's fine. Whatever. I'm not a prude that says you should never have any sexual characters ever that never show off their chests. My frustration is when there's no reason for it. It's completely external to the game. It's just like, as a side note, there's this little wink to the audience. I suppose that's true too, Matt. Yeah, I can hear you.
What do you say to one last showdown?
I think that was in the trailer.
Yeah, all right.
They had a lot of Ocelot in the trailer. It was interesting. I feel like most game trailers aren't extremely dialogue heavy, but I'm pretty sure the MGS3 trailers are very much so. This is one of the last games that I consumed all information about. I think I was supposed to follow the right gun. If this isn't a overly long ending here. Yeah, keeping it unzipped for the fight, absolutely. There's no reason for that at all. Yeah, that's
What's your name?
just her doing it is a 5 on the eye roll meter. Her keeping it unzipped for the entire boss fight is like a 80.
No. Not that name. You're not a snake, and I'm not an ocelot. We're men with names. My name is Adamska. What's yours?
Demska.
John.
Very well, John. Plain name. But I won't forget it.
As absurd as the sequence is, and like as ridiculous it is that Eva's just piloting back there without paying attention to this in the back, this is pretty fun.
Come on!
that trigger discipline. This is so stupid, I love it. Yeah, trying to load floating boxes. Oh, on the UI? Yeah. Since you're only in game for a few seconds, I agree. A missed opportunity. I grabbed the wrong gun. Yep.
It's a blank. Oh, that was fun.
Get the right gun, you can shoot, miss, or not shoot. Interesting. Or you can give him the right gun. Is it always the gun on the left? Oh, that's cool.
Till we meet
Schrodinger's
again,
blank.
John.
I kind of like, from a story canon perspective, having him shoot you and have it be a blank. Do a barrel roll out of a MiG into a lake. Brilliant.
Give me a hand!
Just, I didn't need help before. I'll let you guys do your whatever that was. Hey, Johan, how's it going? Andrea just got to the Titus laughing scene in Final Fantasy X.
We made it.
Yeah, we sure did.
I have to see that in the original Japanese to see if it was just as bad. Hater laugh. The horse is eating him? Are those connected things, Johan? Glad you were able to sleep.
Migs! There's no way out! What are we gonna do?
We've come too far to let them stop us now.
They both happened. Very good.
Those things have got to be armed.
It's no use. There's no way we can outmaneuver them. They're gonna shoot us down. We were so close.
Weapon systems on. Locked on target. I got towed.
You were great, Eva.
Huh?
Thanks.
Bulk 19, this is Control. Stand by for a direct order from the chairman. Bulk 19, return to base immediately. Do you read me? This is a direct order from Comrade Khrushchev.
Yeah,
Return
I was
to
discussing
base
that with
immediately.
Andrea too, Matt.
Bulk 19, do you copy? Understood.
It works when you
Aborting mission.
know the whole plot of the game. It's still ridiculous, and the characters respond to it like there's something wrong with them.
Look! The MiGs are turning back! Woo!
It's a scene that they would flash back to when Titus figures it out later to demonstrate how embarrassed he is of being such an ass. But it would have, like... Of course he gets a phone call. Yeah, conceptually works, it's still awkward, and it's much weirder on the first playthrough.
The MiGs disengaged.
Most likely under orders from Khrushchev.
Is this his way of helping us?
Who knows? Maybe he didn't want things to get messier than they already are. Or maybe he just wanted us to owe him one. The important thing is, you made it out alive. As long as Khrushchev is with us, I don't think they'll be coming after you. It should be smooth sailing all the way to Alaska. I'm sending someone out to Galena Base to meet you.
To meet me?
The DCI and the
Meet
President
me.
himself are waiting at Langley. Don't keep them waiting.
President. Yeah, right. Don't have much control over which phone calls freeze time. Yes, please. I'll make it in a separate file in case I want to get that camo, but I don't think that'll happen. Is that his default camo? Just like the leaf camo?
So what are you going to do now? Go back to the KGB?
What do you want me to do?
Did you ever think about coming back to America?
I can't go back. I've left America behind me.
But you saved this country.
Snake
didn't
probably
do
gets
it
you an in.
And I still owe you a dinner.
Is that part of your mission too? Or
He's still wearing all his
is
gear,
it
right?
an order?
He's got his, like,
Or
heavy
is
gloves
it an
on.
invitation?
His little radio. She likes Orin. He's probably one of my favorite characters in gaming, and, like, he's Marstead fan service.
I don't take orders from anyone now.
Show don't tell, no nonsense. Moves the plot forward. This would be a good time for her to unzip her thing if it wasn't already unzipped. You failed, Kojima. I just wonder, like, this is like some vacation cabin in Alaska, presumably. Because he has to have his codex still on him, of course. Major, what is it? Okay, they've used that joke so many times in MGS1 and this one. A la Orin glamour. Do they have the Orin armor in the game? I know they have a bunch of, there's like the Yuna and Titus armors in there. Yeah, she could have just turned it off. You have to throw it in the fire. That totally seems like something Kojima would do, this name. Unnecessary. Somehow relevant, it's the same cabin. Though I feel like the phrase "that was excessive" is like kind of just you open with "that was excessive" at the very beginning of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Scholars tell us
Pin that
the
to
first
chat.
guy in history was the snake in the book of Genesis. In that story, it was Eve who was tempted by the snake in the Garden of Eden. But this time around, it was I who tempted the snake and got away with the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Forgive me, Snake.
What scholars say that? So one of those experts say, studies show, citation needed. Weasel words.
of all, I have to apologize. I wasn't sent by Khrushchev. I'm not a KGB spy, and I never worked for the NSA. I'm an agent of the People's Republic of China for the
Double
General
cross.
Second Department of the People's Liberation Army. It was all a lie. I tricked you. And I'm sorry.
I like that she gives us this closure. I guess I don't know who else would do it in this case. Hey, Triumph. Wonder how much he paid for that.
The philosophers still exist in China.
Good brand of bike.
You see, my mission was to find out where Volgan was hiding the philosopher's legacy and steal it. So I infiltrated his base as a KGB spy. The two NSA codebreakers who defected in 1960 were actually both men.
Makes sense.
The real Adam never showed up at the meeting place,
Right, because she didn't know the password.
saving me the trouble of having to eliminate him. I sneaked in by pretending I was Eva.
Do we have a guess at who the real Adam is? Is it Ocelot?
And you and
Adamska?
Sokolov and Volgan, you all believed me. The philosopher's legacy was...
That wouldn't make sense. He's not an NSA codebreaker. I don't think it's a known character.
We couldn't let the Russians and the Americans take it all for themselves. The Chinese government had its eye on the legacy too. I got the film containing the legacy. And also the nuclear missile launch data from the Shagohod.
Always got to end with someone getting
The Soviet
data.
Union stopped supplying us with nuclear weapons technology. Since then, China's Liandon easing, hydrogen bomb, and space rocket projects have fallen behind. But with this data, our country will be able to develop its own nukes. We'll create a deterrent force to rival those of the US and Soviet Union. Everything has gone according to plan, thanks to your help.
Exactly as planned.
I too am one of the philosophers. I'm an agent of the philosophers, a graduate of one of their charm schools. I was raised in a joint US-Soviet-Chinese...
Yeah, let me just tell you all of China's plans. I guess maybe she doesn't care, but
back then they were collecting children from all
it was
over
one of
the
those,
world.
like, Kojima desperately needs
As a
to
result,
explain
I'm
this.
indistinguishable from a native-born American. So it didn't surprise me when you and Volgan couldn't tell the difference. But she knew right from the beginning. She knew because before the war, she was at one of the philosopher's schools too, as an instructor. The boss was the only one I couldn't fool. She was the only one who knew I was a fake. She told me everything. Why did she open her heart to me like that? At the time, I couldn't understand it. But now, I think I do. Snake. She wanted you to know the truth. She chose me to tell you.
Yeah, 'cause she couldn't tell you.
That's why she saved my life. I've lied to you so many times, but not this time. My orders from the government were to obtain the legacy and to eliminate everyone who knew the truth about what happened. In other words, I'm supposed to kill you.
Pretty easy.
But I can't do it. Not because we loved each other. And not because you saved my life. But because I made a promise to the boss. And I intend to keep it. I just wanted you to know. And you have to live.
That didn't reveal very much. This is the self-destructing tape player, that's great. Where do you buy those? In Alaska. She ran out to 7-Eleven at night.
Snake, Listen to me.
Okay, this is the part they
She
cut.
didn't betray the United States. No. Far from it. She was a hero who died for her country. She carried out her mission knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice. Because that was her duty.
You are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss.
It's so ridiculous. It's rad though, but it's like you feel like they would have Big Boss is the most Japanese video gamey sounding title ever, and they could have switched it to something more reasonable in Metal Gear Solid 1, and they didn't. Yeah, Kojima has an ending games problem. We'll have stuff after the credits too. Biggest boss. Yeah. Disrespectful.
We could use an infiltration unit like Fox in the army. Someone like him to handle our top secret sneaking missions for us.
All the top secret sneaking missions in the U.S. government.
A soldier and an agent.
The boss's defection was a ruse set up by the U.S. government. It was all a big drama staged by Washington so they could get their hands on the philosopher's legacy. And the boss was the star of the show.
Huge boss.
They planned it so that they could get the legacy that Colonel Volgin inherited and destroy the Shagohod at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Looks good.
Only a legendary hero like
these
the
games
boss could
take a
have
long
earned
time to
Volgin's
spin up
loyalty.
and then linger.
Finding out where the philosopher's legacy was
This
hidden
reveal
was
is
to be her
cool.
greatest
That
mission.
like
Everything was going according to plan.
Snake's
Then
mission's
something
bullshit.
happened that no one could have predicted. Colonel Volgin fired an American-made nuclear warhead at Sokolov's research facility. Khrushchev demanded that the U.S. government provide proof that it wasn't involved. They couldn't just abort the operation to steal the legacy. So the operation itself was greatly expanded and revised. The authorities in Washington knew that in order to prove its innocence, they'd have to get rid of the boss.
Yeah, no, I agree, Yuko.
And that one of their own would have to do the job.
It's consequential,
They'd be
right?
allowed to find
Because
out
like
about it.
the shit
Not
in
ever.
Persona 4 Golden is of zero consequence.
This, they concluded, would be the best way to keep the whole thing under wraps.
This is continuing to reveal stuff, even though it would have been better if it had been
The
put into
boss
the game
wouldn't
up
be
to this
allowed to
point.
come back home alive. And she wouldn't be allowed to kill herself. Her life would be ended by her most beloved disciple. That was the way the government wanted it. That was the mission she was given. And she had no choice but to carry it out.
Yeah,
Her death at your
I think that's
hands
true, Yuko.
was a duty she had to
She
fulfill.
keeps the keeps it an illusion.
Out of duty, she turned her back on her own comrades. A lesser woman would have been crushed by such a burden.
It's good use of the Metal Gear theme there too.
The taint of disgrace.
Pulling the Charlie Wildcard moment. Yeah, I think having the whole scene where Snake is fucking pissed and everyone's clapping for him and he's not shaking hands only works if you have
In
this
America as a
voiceover.
despicable traitor with no sense of honor. And in Russia as a monster who unleashed a nuclear catastrophe. She will go down in official history as a war criminal. And no one will ever understand her. That was her final mission.
She's a traitor
And
and a
like
war
a true
criminal.
soldier, she saw it through to the end. But I think she wanted you of all people, to know the truth. She wanted to live on in your memory. Not as a soldier, but as a woman.
I hope there aren't any kids coming to Arlington.
But she was forbidden to tell you herself. And that's why she told me.
Patriot who saved the world.
Snake. History will never know what she did. No one will ever learn the truth.
Boss is the best character.
Her story, her debriefing, will endure only in your heart.
The music has a lot to do with it, I think. You could go.
Everything she did for her country. She sacrificed her life and her honor for her native land. She was a real hero. She was a true patriot.
Khrushchev ousted from power. Brezhnev becomes the first secretary of the Communist Party. China conducts its first nuclear test. Sagan joins ARPA. Takes in the development of ARPANET, which will go online in 1969. Eva disappears without a trace. Paramedic establishes the nation's first paramedic system. Major Zero disbands Fox. United States accumulates the remainder of the legacy. Philosophers become the Patriots. Big Boss establishes Foxhound in 71. So I think, and they might be more explicit with this later, but I think the whole thing with Sagan founding ARPANET is that he's supposed to be Donald Anderson, the DARPA chief from the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 1, which is one of those, like, I don't think that's necessary. Sons of Big Boss are born. That was pretty early in the timeline. I think if that scene had been basically the ending, if we had fought the boss and then basically cut immediately to that instead of having the Ocelot gun battle and some of the other fake end stuff up to that point, I still think that point's super necessary, and I think it probably needs to happen after the boss fight. Yeah, I think that it makes that boss fight really, really cool on the second playthrough. I think it's a really reasonable story. There's no nonsense going on. There's a light connection between the Philosophers and the Patriots, but it's not any of the crazy crap that's in Metal Gear Solid 2. It remains, I think, my favorite Metal Gear game. We'll see if I play 4 again and 5 for the first time, if that changes that, but I don't think it will. They'll tell you what they know, but they won't. Yeah. You could have skipped the MiGs not shooting you down, I think. Could have implied it happened or something. We need to know that Khrushchev called it off, but... You've got a way to kill. They're picking on you still, but they don't. Yeah, I think so, Matt. I forgot about this theme. More appropriate than playing Snake Eater here. It's a bumping theme. Yeah, it's cool, Yukiko. Despite all the silly Kojima stuff, I've managed to feel pretty connected to the boss and Snake's relationship. Probably won't do Revengeance, we'll see. I'll make that call when we finish MGS5. Honestly, I would skip 5, but I feel like I need to play it. it, since Kojima did work on most of it. It just wasn't finished, and it's gonna feel weird ending on a game that's not finished. This seems like a fine ending to the series. Like, 2 can end with all of its crazy, weird crap, and you can have all these theories. You have that narrative uncertainty about what the hell's going on in 2. Was that all some weird computer simulation? And then 3 kind of caps it off. Provides some context of what's going on in 2. But it's just a generally pretty good story, straightforward. This one's 75% movie too. I mean, it was 14 hours. If we had skipped all the cutscenes, it would have been 2.5 hours maybe. Yeah, I haven't played Peace Walker before, that'll be blind. Time to have that on the schedule. Do that after 4, right? Release order still seems correct. It came out after 4, didn't it?
They'll tell you where to go, but they won't know.
Yeah, it's hard to do that sort of cutscene approach in a more open-worldy game. Scott Dolph is on the staff. Oh wow, they had to get permission for Godzilla, so that makes sense. We'll see what Peace Walker's like when we start it. I have never played it. I did play Portable Ops, and that didn't feel like it was worth it. I know it's kind of a similar concept, but maybe a little bit more story-focused. Helvetica. Such a good theme, too. I love Snake Eater. Oh, it's fantastic. Cool. Good game. Great ending. One of the best.
Yes, Grozny Grad and the Granin Research Facility have both been wiped out without a trace.
Gotta have Ocelot on a phone call.
I understand, sir, but they were necessary sacrifices. Yes, the CIA has taken care of the boss themselves. I believe the White House will be satisfied. Khrushchev is finished. Your time is finally arrived.
Or 9, right? Play online?
Yes, the American president is relying on us to keep a lid on the whole affair. we've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations. Yes, Chief Director, of course. I'll keep the KGB informed.
We can see there's a couple good ones. Maybe I'll split the VOD.
Yes, it's me.
2 phone calls.
The boss has accomplished her mission. The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us, in America's hands. With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived. The film we handed the Chinese was a fake.
Of course it was.
Peking must be in an uproar right about now.
They gave that away in the timeline earlier.
I'm afraid so. Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes. That's right. Grozny Grad has been obliterated by the Davy Crockett we brought in as well.
Thanks, the boss.
Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system.
It's some kind of Metal
Perhaps
Gear.
it might just come in handy someday. Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well.
Khrushchev had an ear on the whole
story.
situation.
I don't think they'll be making a fuss. The secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them.
Quadruple?
I will continue my activities as a contact for the new government. Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam. Of course, I am always at the CIA's disposal, Mr. Director.
The James Bond horns at the end are pretty great. Him revealing that he's Adam probably wasn't necessary. You could figure that out, but... Panther. Especially given its proximity to everything else. Cool. New item obtained. Single action army. Patriot. Camera. Green face paint. National flag face paints. Tuxedo. Downloadable camo. Wow. That must all be from the HD version. I think there was some DLC camo stuff early game to do that. I theorized it at that point, though. It was something that would have been nice to leave open rather than making clear, but Kojima kind of needs to make everything clear. Drives him crazy if he doesn't, right? Alright, let me split the VOD here. Stop the clock. Maybe look at some Secret Theater. I'll see if I want to upload it separately.